A new era has begun. There is no more FIFA Career Mode. There is only FC. The king is dead. Long live the new king. Welcome to episode 1 of the Chelsea Career Mode for FC24. Yes, last year's kit. New one arrives in the post later this week, so when it does, I'll be wearing that one instead. Now, with the new iteration of FIFA comes a handful of new mechanics to Career Mode. We'll be delving into those in this first episode. And, of course, if you have any questions, then feel free to leave them in the comment section down below. Alternatively, head over and ask them live on stream over on Twitch. You'll find a link in the description down below where I record all of my content. We've got Chelsea Career Mode on this channel. There is a My Player Career Mode starting on the second channel. Also, link in the description down below for that. Of course, this will come to you every weekday as per the past few weeks with the content, and hopefully you guys will enjoy it. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already to make sure you don't miss a video. If you hit that notification bell, you definitely won't. And if you drop the video a like, it'll let me know that you want as many of these as I can get to you over the next few weeks. Chelsea Career Mode on FC24 begins now. New feature for FC24, number 1. Tactical visions. The way you decide how to create your play style, so to speak, how you are going to attack the pitch and beat your opponent, is now defined by which tactical vision you have, which play style you're going to implement, and which coaches you're going to hire, another new mechanic, to help your team improve at being good at that play style. They're all pretty self-explanatory, these tactical visions, so feel free to pause at any point to read the little blurb underneath. But standard, wing play, tiki-taka, gegenpressing, park the bus, counter-attack, and kick and rush. They're all, like we say, pretty self-explanatory. I'm going to go with tiki-taka because it's a style of play that I prefer and that I enjoy watching as well as playing. Now, with each of the tactical visions, you have a set range for some of your instructions. If you stray outside of those ranges, then it will negatively impact the way that your coaches can affect your players. So it's best to kind of stick to the rules, so to speak, when trying to apply your tactical vision. I'm going to confirm my tactical vision here as tiki-taka, and now I can paint that vision on the pitch. Of course, coaches are brand new this year as well. As part of the Ultimate Edition pre-order, I'm able to get an expert coach right off the bat in the tiki-taka. So if you don't mind, Owen Winter is going to join me, and he is going to be added into my coaching system. Now, a number of you may be familiar with this coaching system already from having played the beta, or having seen some other Career Mode YouTubers implement their coaches. So to get the most out of each coach and get the most out of each area on the pitch, you need to maximize the amount of stars you have to a certain level in that area of the pitch. So to get the best out of your attackers, for example, you need in the slots to have up to 20 stars in your attacking coach's slots. Winter obviously has 5 for all of the areas because he's that damned good. They will range from 1 to 5 stars in all of the varying different areas. And as you can see, they have a different level of expertise in a number of different areas as well. So the more you play with that tactical vision, the better they will get. So if I was to switch to play a gegenpress, he's currently a novice in gegenpressing. The more I play, the better he's going to get, and then eventually he will end up being an expert in gegenpress. But I don't want him to be an expert in gegenpress because he's already an expert in tiki-taka, and I'd like him to be an expert in my attacking tiki-taka, if you don't mind. Bosh. Your coach's knowledge level affects your players' attributes, and the more knowledge they have, the more attributes they can affect. So as you can quite clearly see, Nicholas Jackson gains all 9 attribute boosts available to him. They will go up more as his sharpness improves. You can see on the right hand side he only has a yellow diamond, so his sharpness isn't maximized. Currently only getting a +2 in all of the different areas. He can get up to a +5 or 6, I believe, with full sharpness and morale, etc. So that's how the stat boosts are going to be implemented this year with the coaches in that style, as opposed to how it has previously been before. So I'm going to jump in and hire some more coaches, if you don't mind, because one's probably not enough to help me win any trophies. Certainly not enough to help Chelsea in real life at the minute, and it's time that they certainly did a little bit more, if you don't mind. So I'm going to dive in and hire some more scouts, and hopefully we as a club can get better. Also new this year is how you train your players and your team as a whole. As you can see, each individual player, including goalkeepers, finally, can have an individual training plan. And you can sway that from more fitness focused to more sharpness focused, or be slap bang down the middle, and also apply that to the entirety of your squad, or to just the starting 11, or just the subs, or just the reserves. Now, there is a lot of, for lack of a better term, being kind, deadwood at Chelsea, as you are fully aware in real life, and it's going to need to be sorted. Forgive any visual bugs. Of course, this is an early build of the game, as we mentioned, so anything that you do see that is a little bit off will be patched in the not too distant future. I'm going to leave everything balanced for now, because I still need to figure out what works, what doesn't work, what players need a bit more fitness, what players need a bit more sharpness, etc. So I'll leave it on balanced, see how players tend to lean. Some players might be like, I'm a little bit more tired than others, so we can lean that towards fitness. Some players might be like, I can play for days, pal, so we'll lean that towards sharpness. And then we'll take it from there as we progress through. So, Reece James is my captain, of course, and when it comes to transfers, because this is always going to be a stickler with Chelsea at the minute, isn't it? When it comes to transfers, I do have a sizable budget of £144 million, but they've spent £1 billion in the past 18 months, so we're going to make it a little bit more difficult than continuing to just splash the cash. I am only going to be allowed to spend what I make in this Chelsea save. The first transfer window is disabled because obviously all of the transfers in real life for this summer window are done. So we're not going to be making any transfers in this opening window because we want things to be as realistic as possible. From there, January, I'm only going to spend what I can make. So we will be keeping a note of what we make. And so I know exactly how much I've got to spend at any given moment. It may negatively affect the way the board think of me and my objectives, etc. But we want things to be realistic, and let's be honest, probably won't be long before Chelsea gets some sort of transfer embargo. So let's just kind of preempt that and only spend what we earn. With regards to board objectives, I'll just quickly show you them here, but it's not going to take too long to do the majority of them, we hope. But a top 4 finish in the league, not sure. Season 1, not sure at all. So in this first episode, of course, with no transfer window to be done, we will be advancing through towards the first games of the Premier League season. We will have gameplay in today's episode, don't worry, depending on how much stuff happens between now and the first game of the day. Then we may get more than the one game in. As per usual, as we progress through the season, we'll be playing some, simming some, progressing through the season as quickly as we can so that you guys can stay as engaged as possible with the content. So, without any further ado, kind of laid out everything in front of you already. I've signed some coaches. I've not maximised my coaches yet, but I have signed some coaches. I've got 13 of my 20, 7 of my 19, 7 of my 25, and 3 of my 9 so far in all areas. I'm going to adjust everybody's development plans so that I can kind of maximise everyone's growth. And you will be keen to know, I know, yes, I do have a future star, a homegrown talent. Although, he's not actually homegrown. He's from Germany. So, Ronnie Thomas from Germany, a 17-year-old 69 rated cam, is my best young prospect. If you'd like me to spend some money on youth scouts and look for players in this save, which is inherently going to be a shorter save, 3 seasons maybe, might take us a little bit longer with Chelsea, maybe 4, then maybe we won't be quite so youth focused. But if you'd like me to focus on some youth, especially if we're going to be financially tied in some scenarios, then maybe that's the way forward. So, Ronnie Thomas is Not going to come up to the first team yet, because let's be honest, there's already enough players in there. But as soon as he starts whinging that he's not in the first team, I'll give him a call up. I do have a number of Patreon players, of course, in this save as well. I'll show you those right at the very end of this first episode. We'll keep tabs on those guys, of course, throughout the course of the season. So, Mauricio Pochettino, do better here than you are in real life, please. First outgoing, of course, it won't happen until January, but Kani Chukwuemeka is going to go out on loan. I'm loaning a number of young players, and actually a couple of oldies as well, if they'll actually accept any contracts anywhere. We now have the opportunity to do our pre-season tournament as well. Financially, it's not too much of a concern for us, but certainly the money we'll be able to put towards our budget. I will include the pre-season tournament money that we're able to raise, so let's try and raise some, shall we? We are going to have to beat some teams to do so, but we'll give it a damn good go. Got a number of loan bids in. The majority are loan to buy, which I'm not looking to do. And Newcastle have agreed a short-term loan for Malang Sarr. So very much. We'll try and get as many people out on loan as we can in January that I'm definitely not going to use. And then from there, hopefully, those players can grow, come back and do a job when they return. That'll be Mr. Bettinelli, won't it? Bye, Marcus. He's off to Germany. Ronnie Thomas's homeland. We've decided with Twitch chat that Ronnie Thomas is actually only part German because Ronnie is quite a Cockney name. So Ronnie Thomas has a German father and an English mother, and that's why he's at Chelsea's youth academy. Bye, Malang. Off to Newcastle for 6 months. There is certainly an excess of centre-backs at Chelsea. The question is, who starts, though? Thiago Silva is obviously very good, but obviously on his way out in terms of his career. Levi Colwill is obviously on his way in terms of his career, but he's not even close to being as good. So if you have any suggestions about who should start, who should be on the bench, who's best to play in what position, then please let me know in the comments section down below, and I will take on board your advice as we push to try and get the most out of this squad as a whole, whilst also getting growth, whilst also prioritising youth, whilst also trying not to lose too many games. It's a very, very fine balancing act here. Did we win? Woo, yeah, we did. 4-1. Banging. Even though they had 70% possession. Not sure whether I'll win 4-1 in my first play game of the season against Liverpool, but we can but hope, can't we? So in my final friendly, Caicedo's torn his quad and he's out for 3 months. Lovely. So that's a good start, isn't it? Thankfully, we've got a number of players that can fill that role, and Conor Gallagher is going to get some more first-team football. More first-team football than I'm sure he thought he was going to get, and I thought he was going to get, but more first-team football is what he's going to get, as Caicedo is now out for 3 months. Not ideal, not ideal. One thing we are noticing is that players are definitely going to need a lot more managing with regards to their fitness and the squad rotation. In this pre-season tournament, at least, that we just managed our way through, I really had to move some players in, move some players out, tweak training plans, etc., to ensure that people were fit and sharp when I needed them to be fit and or sharp. So it's going to be a bit of a learning curve with that new mechanic, I think, which is a welcome change. Something to actually be a little bit challenging on that front, rather than just same old, same old. So on Premier League opening day, some fixes have been played. Arsenal 1, Nottingham Forest 2 is one that will catch your eye, certainly. Burnley 1, Manchester City 1 will also catch the eye as well. Brighton, unsurprisingly, winning. Luton, unsurprisingly, losing. Tell me, do you think Luton are going to beat Derby's record of 11 points in the Premier League this year in real life? I think it's potentially at risk, if we're honest. We have Liverpool at Stamford Bridge on the opening day of our Premier League season. We have match preparation to potentially do. We also have our press conference to go to as well. Media is gathering. Morale is currently only set to content. So if I can answer some questions in the right manner with Mauricio, then hopefully people will be a little bit happier around the place. You won't be surprised to hear that Liverpool are going to be playing the Gegenpressing tactical vision. Midfield of McAllister, Endo and Thiago. Luis Diaz, Salah and Diogo Jota. Robertson, Konate, Virgil van Dijk, Trent Alexander-Arnold and Alisson Becker in goal. It's a drawable game. But with the quality of player that I have available to me, it's probably not really a winnable game unless we get lucky. One thing that stood out to me already here is that Thiago Silva has already dropped from 84 to 83 rated, so maybe Levi Colwill isn't that far away from the starting lineup. My first ever game of FC24, Liverpool. Could certainly have been a bit more straightforward, couldn't it? For those that are wondering, we're not playing with sliders at the moment. I'm on default ultimate. And Nkunku into Sterling. Nico Jackson has come short. Now, for those that have been more familiar with my most recent stuff, this will feel very fast to you compared to the sliders we were using towards the end of FIFA 23. And believe me, it feels quick to me too. The pace of the game is going to be dramatically different for this Chelsea save than it has been in a number of the saves that we've done most recently, so it's going to take me a little while to get used to it as well, but certainly it's going to feel different with it being a new game too, so there's doubly a lot to be done here. And the fact that this Chelsea side aren't very good either doesn't help. Reece James trying to squeeze it back but can't quite get there. Player to watch is Christopher Nkunku, injured in real life of course, but thankfully not yet injured for us. Give it time, I'm sure it will happen. Reece James can't quite keep up with the pace and trickery of Luis Diaz, and McAllister with the cross to the back post, and Mo Salah with the header. His Liverpool 1, Chelsea 0 in the 12th minute. We are behind at Stamford Bridge. A lovely cross, a brilliant header, and Liverpool lead. Gallagher, short there to Chilwell. This is a baptism of fire for me and this Chelsea side here. Getting to grips with all of my players is not easy when they play the Gegenpress. Their tactical vision is completely nullifying my tiki-taka at the moment. That said, we are in behind with Enzo Fernandez, and if I can find the right pass or maybe the right shot, we could have been level. But Alisson makes a very, very good save, and we do not have ourselves an equalising goal yet. Chile will whip this in towards the middle, and Nkunku's up. Brilliant header, what a save! Alisson down low. Fantastic stop by the Brazilian to keep that out. Liverpool's lead remains intact, but only thanks to their goalkeeper. What a stop, by the way. Thiago Silva's absolutely dead on his feet. Ah! And Robert Sanchez has done just enough to stop a goal going in at the other end as well. Bloody hell, that was close. Thiago Silva is not quick at the best of times, let alone he's entirely run out of stamina. Note to self, switched balls like that against this Liverpool side, not going to work. Oh, Diogo's in. Finish. Diogo makes it Liverpool 2, Chelsea 0. Jota is running things at the minute up top. I think I might need a better bloody goalkeeper. Robert Sanchez, not great. Thankfully, with the tiki-taka, I do have a number of players relatively close to the man that's in possession at any given moment. Oh, that'd have been a lovely ball. Now the defender's out of position. Thiago Silva versus Mo Salah for pace. Not really. Jota with the movement. Jota with another goal. Lads, Chelsea in virtual life, not any better than Chelsea in real life. I'm getting torn apart. Diogo really is playing a bloody game. Where do you go? It's Conor Gallagher. That's where you go. Mudryk. Use those legs, son. Go on, you're in behind. Here's Christopher Nkunku looking for Nico Jackson. It just won't quite reach him. Maybe should have tried a finesse from the edge of the box with Mr. Nkunku. Get there. Did he ever? Crunch. Match facts. 2 shots to their 4. 3 of theirs have gone in. None of mine. 65% possession. We've kept the ball well. Just not doing enough with it. Go and do something with it, Ches. Excuse me, Mo. I said, excuse... Really? I said, excuse me, Mo. Alexis McAllister. And Endo. All right, chill. McAllister. Jota. Sanchez. Finally makes a blooming save. Thank the Lord we've got Luton coming up. Maybe I asked you the question whether Luton might break Derby's 11-point record. I might break Derby's 11-point record at this rate. Luis Diaz just destroying me. Robert! Close! I pressed triangle for him to close him down, and he stood there. And, like, I don't know. That might be a bit of a bug. I pressed triangle here. Oh, dear! What happened? This is pure epilepsy pain. Robert Sanchez, not the one. I pressed triangle here. He came out to him. Then I pressed triangle again, and he's just run around in a circle. He's gone, nah, don't fancy it, mate. Inside. There we go. Nice turn, Nico. You love to see it. Looking for Conor Gallagher. Trying to keep it away from the defender. Showing some good strength. Mudryk. Conor Gallagher's back there. Here's Chile. Conor Gallagher again. There's not much room back here, but he's holding on to the ball really well. Enzo. And Nkunku spins. And Nkunku! Alisson with a brilliant save. Turns out having a decent goalkeeper makes a difference in a game of football. Who knew? Can I have Alisson, please? Is that allowed? I've got Sanchez till blooming January, at the very least. Send help. And a goalkeeper. Chelsea have been absolutely, if you'll pardon the pun, mudded with their ratings this year. None less so than a 67 rated Cole Palmer. 67! What's the kid got to do? 20 minutes to go here, and we have been written off. A sign of how far this Chelsea side have to go to become potential challengers for 3 points, let alone a blooming trophy. Liverpool, galaxies ahead. Not miles, not streets, galaxies ahead. We're in a different universe of footballing talent and capabilities here at the minute. And Nkunku has had a decent game. Unfortunately for him, nobody else around him has been any good whatsoever. Shot deflected, Alisson makes the save, and they'll clear it away. It's fine. Frank Lampard lost his first game in charge of Chelsea 4-0 against Manchester United, didn't he? And everyone knows how well at least his first season went at Chelsea. Second one, not so much. I'll try and emulate the first season that Lamps had, shall I? And here's Nkunku looking for Nico Jackson, who spun well. Nico Jackson off the post, off the keeper, and to Liverpool's safety. And if anything sums up our first day in the Premier League this season, it's that. Genuinely, we've actually not been that bad. Offensively. Defensively, large question marks, evidently. But there is some promise, dare I say, some promise in what we've done so far. Promise and lots of tears. Luis Diaz is a bit quick, isn't he? He's not very strong, though. That'll be game. 2 minutes added on. 2 minutes played. 2 minutes done. It's fine. We are absolutely not going to panic. Don't panic. Please don't panic. Let's go and play another one and be better. We've got West Ham next, away from home, which actually isn't as straightforward a game as you might like to hope it would be, given the way that West Ham has started in real life this season. Not how West Ham were last year. With regards to fitness and sharpness, I haven't yet figured out who needs what in that regard, but certainly we could do with some fitness in a number of areas. So we'll leave that as it is for now and head towards the game against West Ham and hope, pray, to be better in this next one. Thankfully, look, everybody's regained their fitness, so that's great. I tell you what I am going to do, take Thiago Silva out, and I'm going to put Levi Colwill in, because why the hell not after that one? New cutscenes on the way into every game, it seems now, which is a nice touch. And obviously the atmosphere at the London Stadium, pretty good. Pretty good. Chelsea's third kit in this build isn't in, but this is, of course, as I mentioned, an early build. As you can see, bottom corner. So it should be in by the time you guys get your hands on the game in a couple of days' time. Thankfully, for me, no blooming bubbles here. Unfortunately for me, Conor Gallagher hasn't decided that he actually knows how to pass the football yet. Let's see if we can be better against West Ham than we were Liverpool in there to Nkunku. His footwork is second to none in this Chelsea team, and we will be relying on it heavily in that central area. Mudryk. Gallagher, is he onside here? No. No, he's not. Lovely little back heel, but because, as you can tell from the new cutscene and graphic, definitely offside. Another nice touch. And Alvarez just evades me. Oh, lovely first touch by Jared Bowen. Dink towards the back post. Reece James didn't want to jump. You got muscles in your legs. You know, you run and walk. You can go up and down as well as forwards and backwards, Reece. Please. 1-0 West Ham. This is going really well, isn't it? Oh, look, great. No, he did. I'll give him his dues. No, I'll take it back. He did jump. Look, ready? About that far. Well in. Love that from you, Levi. Excellent defensive work. Mudryk to Jackson. Jackson looks for Nkunku and finds him well. Looking for Raheem Sterling. Is in the box on the far side. The angle's narrow! And it nearly squeezes through Lucas Fabianski at the near post. So very nearly. Enzo Fernandez from the corner then. Can we find an equalising goal from the set piece? Nico's up. Jackson! Wide of the target from the new front man. So very close to our first goal. Oh, God. They're in. Soucek. Plays. Oh, defenders getting in the way of each other. Sanchez can't save his own bloody life, let alone a football. And Lucas Paqueta thinks he's Mikel Antonio. Oh! Ultimately, this Chelsea side are actually genuinely rubbish. I think you kind of need to forget about what club it is and take this team on the merits of its actual ratings, which is Nkunku, Fernandez, James and Sterling, and rubbish everywhere else. This is a long-term save, isn't it? This is going to be a real RTG with Chelsea, this. James Sterling. Oh, why is Antonio this... What is happening? Mikel Antonio outmuscles my defender as if he's made of cheese. And then Roberto Sanchez doesn't have hands. He doesn't have hands! You're rubbish, pal! It's Colwell leans on him. Mikel Antonio's just like, nah, get off. And then Sanchez can't save a sausage! Ah! He's got hands! He did a thing! Sanchez! Wow! Wow, class! Wow! Oh, God, Mohamed Kudus is coming on. Oh, panic. Corner. He's taking the corner as well. What is... I'm going to have a meltdown. What's Robert Sanchez doing? I'm actually going to cry. What's he doing? Oh, God. Can I recall Kepa from Real Madrid? Is that allowed? Where's... What? I can't make any more squeaks. What are you doing, Robert? I think for episode 2, I might drop it to Legendary off of Ultimate. Do you mind? To be fair, this is peak Chelsea right now. This is the most realistic Chelsea career mode you've ever seen in your life. Kudus down the line for West Ham. Keeper's going to come. He's not going to try and get there. He's going to come, but he's not going to get anywhere near it. I do not like Robert Sanchez. Bowen, well in for Fana. Not so well passed for Fana. Antonio, Paqueta. Ooh. Ah. I'm going to lower the difficulty, if you don't mind. Turns out, Ultimate, pretty difficult this year. I have never had an opening episode go this badly ever. Final whistle sounds, and for the next one, we'll lower the difficulty, shall we? I'm not too egotistical to say, but I am currently not good enough for Ultimate on FC24. Judging by it so far, I don't even know whether I'm going to be good enough for Legendary. I hope you're enjoying this. I'm sure you're loving the downfall. And ultimately, the comments is just going to be, well, it's realistic, isn't it? Because Chelsea are rubbish in real life, and Chelsea are rubbish here too. But I have a funny feeling some of it might be me at the moment. So we've got Blackpool in the cup here. I have adjusted a couple of settings to see if it helps. Obviously, here right now, we're just quick simming. So because it's the Carabao Cup, so we're not too bothered about playing this one. But I have lowered the difficulty to Legendary, tweaked a couple of other settings, and we'll see if I'm any better against Luton. Oof, ball over the top, though, from Enzo Fernandez in our first chance of this game. The side, as you can see on the left-hand side that I've laid out, should be good enough to get through against Blackpool. Goal for the Chelsea! Mikhailo Mudryk scores the first goal of this career mode. It's a header at the back post. We lead Blackpool by 1-0. Yay! I've got to remain upbeat about it. It's a learning curve with a new game. Back on regular game speed as well after the sliders that we used on FIFA 23. It's definitely going to take a while to get used to coming back to this level of game speed, etc. And you guys are going to enjoy the ride, I'm sure. We've found our level. It's League One. We said at the beginning of the episode, a new era has begun. It has. It most certainly has. But that new era isn't necessarily one where Chelsea Football Club are winning things at a canter. Or even anywhere close to it, as it seems. Luton have lost 2 of their 3 Premier League games so far this season. Or, no, 2 of their 3 games so far this season. They lost the first Premier League game. They drew in the league. They have 1 point so far. And they lost in the Carabao Cup midweek. You see the quality of their side. They're playing 5 at the back. You see my starting lineup there. Still going with Levi Colwill. Mudryk, borderline questionable as to whether to drop or not. But considering he scored the goal in the cup, he starts here. Liquidator, loud and proud at Stamford Bridge, coming out the tunnel. Get more new cutscenes, which look fantastic. Now then, can I actually finally pull my finger out and do something in a game of football in the Premier League? Adebayo and Mpanzu, Issa Kabore. Chile trying to get a toe in. He did. He didn't do enough. And Mpanzu. What is the point in Robert Sanchez existing? I'm going to be bald by the end of this because I'm going to pull all my hair out. Penny Roddick and Mpanzu, the man that played for Luton in the conference, scores in the Premier League. I'm genuinely lost for words. Marvellous Nakamba. Nice ball through the gap. Adebayo. Colwill. Got 0 strength, Levi Colwill. Thankfully, Chilwell can actually tackle. Mudryk to Conor Gallagher. Time's running out in this first half, but there is still plenty of the second remaining. And Nkunku. And Mudryk. Trying to use that pace. Looking for Nkunku. Going to get closed down, so we'll spin. Nick Jackson. Looking for Reece James. Finding him. But where do I go? Again, short of options. Enzo Fernandez from the edge of the box. Deflected and wide. From the corner then maybe. Running out of ideas when I get towards the edge of the box. Nick Jackson's up. It's over the top of the bar. He's come close twice, Nico Jackson, from corners. But so far, we haven't unlocked our set-piece potential. Maybe the gegenpress is the way forward for me. It's a playstyle I've always feared for lack of ability to have fit players. But at the minute, it might be the way forward. It really worked for Liverpool. Nothing I did against West Ham worked. And at the minute, everything I've tried against Luton, it's just been met by failure as well. Intercepted well by Conor Gallagher. Come on, Raheem. Come on, Raheem. Please, Raheem. I did a thing! Goal for Chelsea! Raheem the Dream! I've found my level! It's legendary, not ultimate, not yet. Goal! I switched from tiki-taka to standard. It worked. Murray Bell down the line. He's got the legs on Reece James. Tucked it back. Berry's forced all the way backwards. Marvellous Nakamba. Can't get rid of Enzo Fernandez, and we've won it back. The lads are invigorated. The belief is flooding through this Chelsea team right now. Reece James going to drive down the line. I've got Raheem Sterling short if I need him. Reece James is going to go again, and the ball is not going to go anywhere near him. Well, they were invigorated. They were full of confidence. And then they forgot to pass to one another. And Kunku, they're still invigorated and full of confidence, but they still haven't remembered how to pass to one another. Oh, God. Mengi over the top. Corley Woodrow. Ross Barkley. Former Chelsea man, of course. Scores. Couldn't get rid of it. Got it under control here. We got it away. And I tried to play the pass and was just instantaneously tackled. And of course, Robert Sanchez doesn't have any arms. So it went into the back of the net. Luton Town 2. Chelsea 1. I've been better. Oh, God, do I need a goalkeeper? Jeez Louise. Robert Sanchez is the worst goalkeeper I've ever used in any video game ever in the history of my life. And trust me, I'm getting old. That's been a while. 3-1 Luton! It's Ross bloody Barkley again! Kick straight at Nkunku. Hook it into Gallagher there. Needs to get it under control and find Nico Jackson, which he's done brilliantly. Nico's beaten the man. Nico Jackson in behind. Kaminsky with an unbelievable save. And somehow it didn't cross the line. Gentlemen, it is not my day. It's going to be a learning curve with new mechanics in FC24. And it's going to be a learning curve with gameplay too. I am Strugs. I'm quite happy to take the majority of it on the chin. I certainly have not been helped out by my goalkeeper though, as I'm sure you will agree in part. But absolutely, I'm playing horribly too, which is certainly part of why what is happening is happening. Gallagher through the gap. And Nkunku can't quite get to it. 4 minutes to go. It's going to be 3 defeats from 3 in the Premier League, but at least we went through in the Carabao Cup, eh? Levi Colwill is actually made of cheese. He runs up to people and he bounces off them. It's not even cheddar. He's made up of camembert. It's just awful. Just straight up runs up to people and bounces off them. I took Thiago Silva out because of what happened against Liverpool. And I think Thiago Silva's going to go back in, or maybe Badiashile's going to get a go. But certainly Levi Colwill needs some lone football, and he needs to get better quick. Madueke looking for the big ball through. It's not going to work. There's no second goal for us here. It's a 3rd straight Premier League defeat. I will take that on the chin. I was not good enough. I absolutely know that I was not good enough. The only way is up though, isn't it? And it is absolutely going to be a proper road to glory. The road is significantly longer than we hoped it was going to be. See, twice the length that I thought it was going to be. But as soon as I can get a better goalkeeper and I get more experience with the gameplay, we will be fine. They were my first 3 games ever of FC24. I think it showed, didn't it? Really? I'm going to go and record episode 1 of the player career mode now. That'll be over on the second channel, link in the description down below. Please do be patient with me. I'm sure you'll enjoy me thoroughly getting my backside handed to me. And the return to glory will certainly be worth the watch. Nottingham Forest up next for us in episode 2. And see how good we can get. 3-1 defeat is better than a 4-0 or a 5-0. Right? Try not to cry, and I'll see you tomorrow. Extra little something at the end for the Patreon players. You're all in the save at either your given clubs or as free agents. Those of you that are free agents, I'll work my way through signing you, releasing you, and helping you move on to pastures anew. But just to have a quick scroll through, you guys can see what you're currently rated at and what clubs you're at if at a club as we scroll through. So you'll be able to hopefully enjoy keeping up to date with your careers. There are a handful of you, those of you most notably that are in the 50s, that didn't respond in time on the Patreon post as to what you wanted your stats to be and what you want, not stats, what you wanted your information to be that height, weight, position, etc, club. So I have created you because it would be unfair to just completely ignore you. But you are default players and almost all free agents. A handful of you I put at clubs that I knew that you would enjoy, that I know you support. There are a couple that I don't know who you support, so I put you into the free agents. But a handful of you have actually grown already and gone from like the 68, 69 level to 60 to 69 or 70 level. And a handful of you are still at the level that you were at. To confirm where everyone is in a more visual way like this, you can see everybody's names. You guys have been so supportive of this project, by the way. The VIP project has been, the big one project has been unbelievable. There are 53 of you. 53! I can't thank you enough for that ridiculous support. Everybody in green is obviously at a club. Everybody in yellow is currently a free agent. When I sign you and then loan you on or release you, not sure which I'm going to do yet, might need to do a little bit of testing first, then we can get you guys moving on to clubs. And those of you that started at a club, again, without having tested, I'm presuming you will stay at that club for the entirety of your time, unless, like the Sheffield United say, PSG decide that they want to buy you. So we'll wait and see how that goes. In the next couple of days on stream, I might do a little bit of testing quickly and see what happens and kind of advance significantly forward in any given save. But for now, that's where you are. In the My Player, I'm going to put you where you've asked to be in your My Player. You'll either, if you made a specific response in the comments to be like, I want to be here in the My Player and here in the Chelsea, then that will be the case. Obviously, in the My Player, I can't really track you because I physically can't search for you. So in the My Player save, it's going to be a case of, will we come up against you? If we do, it'll be a real like, oh my god moment. So do make sure you're watching the My Player save over on the Chesnoid Plays channel to stay up to date with that save as well. For now though, that is all for me for this one. For those of you that weren't on the Patreon and still watch this bit, you're the real MVPs. For those of you that are on the Patreon and watch this bit, you're the MVPs too. Thank you very much for watching, guys. I will see you tomorrow for more, and tomorrow for better results. I'm still recovering. I'm sure you are too. See you then. Bye.